Oh, hey guys, you're back. And ladies too. And as promised, I was going to talk a little bit about the best coaching advice I ever received. This goes all the way back to the summer after second grade. I was 8 years old and it was in 1984. I played for a team called Monty Standard. We were 7-5. We were co-champs of the Little League in Montezuma. Our head coach was Frank Helm. Assistant coach was Tom Erickson, who was our elementary principal, and then our last coach was Russell Wiley, which was Frank's father-in-law. We also had one coach that I would call an honorary coach maybe, and his name was Steve Helm, which would be Frank's son. And Steve was probably 14 at the time. I think he's a good 6 years older than me in school, if I remember right. And it kind of went like this. So that year in 12 games, I had one hit. I bat .056 for the season, and I was 8th in the order. And the only reason I was 8th in the order is because Michael Jensen, as you hold a bat like this, he would actually hold it like this. He would always kind of mess up his hand. So I think he was the only kid that didn't have a hit on the team. But quite frankly, with the advice that I got, is a big reason why I probably didn't get a hit or only got the one hit, for the whole season. So one day, and I can remember this just like yesterday, I'm sitting on the bench there at the Little League ball field, and we're getting ready to play, and our honorary coach, Steve Helm, who's 14 years old, he said, Cheyenne, he said, look, he goes, I'm going to tell you how to play. He goes, if you follow my advice, we're going to win some games. So he said, look, he goes, when you get up to the plate, he goes, crowd the plate. He goes, get hit by the pitch, steal second, steal third, and score. That's all you have to do. Now, most likely an adult coach like his dad or Mr. Erickson, the elementary principal, probably wouldn't have given me that same advice because, well, they're more like adults versus like a big brother. So anyway, like an idiot, I did exactly what Steve told me because he was an older kid and it was cool, that you got to hang out with somebody like him. So every time I'd go up to bat and I would crowd the plate, and somewhere I got hit in every single ball game I played in, sometimes twice. That's just what I did. I'd steal second, steal third because it was easy, and then I'd score. That's how I contributed to the team because I sure wasn't going to contribute with a hit because I sucked. However, there was one exception. There was a kid by the name of Dave Gretz. Now keep in mind, I'm in second grade. It was second, third, and fourth graders. It wasn't all second graders. And I'm going to tell you something else. It wasn't a deal where some coach came and pitched underhand to you, or if you couldn't hit off the coach pitching underhand to you, they'd put a tee out there and then you could hit off the tee. That's not how it worked back then. You were going to face a fourth grader. So little Cheyenne, because I was little back then, little Cheyenne would get up to the plate and I would sit there, and this kid named Dave Gretz, literally, and of course a fourth grader, because it was always a fourth grader that was pitching, could throw 102 miles an hour in the fourth grade. And that was the one pitcher where I wouldn't crowd the plate. I would literally stand way back in the box and all the way back in the box. Because this kid, I really think he wanted to hit me every time he threw. But I tell you one thing, what really changed, and this is kind of why I'm talking about the best coaching advice I ever received, because Steve taught me to get up there and, hey, you're going to have to take some lumps, and that's what it's going to be like in life. And then what happened is sometime after 1984, some woman that's a stay-at-home mom that's white, that has nothing better to do with her time than to figure out how her son, little Billy, won't feel bad. They got it to where, okay, now the coach is going to throw underhand to you to a bunch of second graders, and then they're going to let you hit off the tee. So little Billy can feel good about himself. But what really should have happened is little Billy should have got up there, got his ass kicked by a fourth grader, learned how to take some lumps. If he couldn't have taken it, could have went and joined the band or maybe the chess club or wherever he belonged. But that's the problem with today. And that's why that mom that sits there with a rich bitch time and has nothing better to do but to make things better or our men softer is to sit there and say, oh, we want little Billy to get a hit to make him feel good. Joe Rogan said it best. Hard times make hard men. Hard men make soft times make soft men. And then you have to go back, of course, soft men, then it's hard times again. And I tell you what, for the lady out there that had to make little Billy feel good about getting a hit so he wouldn't go home and cry like a little crybaby, you can kiss my ass, honey. You basically made a bunch of soft men with all their participation trophies and everything else. And if you don't agree with me, you're full of shit. Because everybody out there knows how the world has gotten, You have a bunch of men that don't want to do anything anymore. They're 30 years old and they're living in their mom and dad's basement, and they're never going to make anything of themselves because they don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. So anyway, as far as that goes, for all the losers out there, you can all kiss my ass. You need to start contributing to society just like everybody else to make sure that this is how the thing works. And I tell you what, next time I'm going to talk about one of the greatest bad guys of all time that wouldn't give me an autograph. So KMA Nation, if you like me, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't, well, subscribe anyway and whatever. And if I offended you somehow today, I'm glad I did. Make sure you tune in next week so I can offend you again. But anyway, until next time, you can all kiss my ass.